What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Bull Season 1, Episode 19. Bring it on! Did you really have to end on that pun? Playing darts, and then Bull's just like, yeah, throws it, and then there's like, bullseye! And I'm just like, no. No! But anyway, this episode in general was pretty good. It was a little bit different from kind of, once again, a little bit different type of trial than what we've been seeing. We end up with a defense attorney as the client, and he ends up defending himself. And on top of that, he wants to do his own type of thing. You know, he doesn't want to listen to anything Bull says. The problem I do have with this, though, is I figured by the end of it, it was going to be shown that Bull's method works and his method does not. You know, even though it has worked in the past, I thought the point was going to show like his method is a bit more about manipulation and, you know, trying to manipulate the jury, not really trying to tell a true story, but more just trying to play to their feelings and to their emotions. And while Bull does that, he's always been about the truth, and that's what it is. But it's like, this episode didn't really show, oh no, he's wrong. It showed, oh yeah, sometimes his method works too. I kind of get that, but at the same time, it's still kind of like, but he didn't really learn his lesson. He's still going to go out there and be a manipulative asshole to everybody. You know, he'll still try to get some killers off at times using his manipulation technique. And, you know, the prosecutor in charge of this case just hates his method. And he's not learning his lesson, so she's still going to have to put up with him doing his little manipulative tactics. And it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of frustrating for me that he didn't really learn his lesson. You know, he didn't listen to Bull, he didn't listen to what he had to say, and by the end of it, Bull just pulls out this piece of information. It had nothing to do with his tactics to help. He just happened to find a piece of information. He's like, boom, you know, here you go, here's your information that you needed, and there you go, now you're innocent. So, I don't know, it just, I found that a little bit frustrating, just because it feels like if you're going to show this guy as being an idiot, if you're going to show him for being an idiot in how he handles trials, you know, he just goes up to the jury, he doesn't listen to what Bull's trying to tell him, he cuts jury members whenever they need them on the jury. It just doesn't feel like he should end up getting off scot-free with no lesson learned. That being said, he does learn a little bit of a lesson, just not about that in general. The woman that ends up getting killed, that he's been accused of killing his fiancée, turns out she was grifting him the entire time. She wasn't who she said she was. She and her brother apparently were both grifters, and they were both trying to con him. And so he comes to realize, oh, I was being grifted the entire time. And so he does kind of learn that it can happen to anybody. So he did learn a little bit of a lesson, but I still feel like by the end of it, he's still saying, look, my tactics are just out in the light. Yours are behind the curtains, so there's nothing wrong with what I do. And I don't know, it just bugged me a little bit that it took Bull figuring out that this girl was apparently not who she said she was before they kind of realized, okay, now we know who the killer is. I wish they could have won the case, you know, using Bull's tactics, using Bull's information that he gathered. I wish we could have seen a little bit more of that instead of just, oh no, we found information that shows he's innocent, and so that's how he ends up getting off. But that's just a personal preference for me. The rest of it, though, was pretty interesting. I mean, first of all, seeing a case, like I said, entirely new type of trial, where you have the defense attorney as the client. I mean, that's new. That's something different. You know, we've never really had to experience that before. On top of that, we get to see just kind of how it works as far as whenever the defense attorney is the client. You know, how exactly does that work? You know, if he wants to go up there and testify, how does that work? Can he ask himself the questions? Well, if somebody's on the defense team, apparently they can ask the questions. So I liked getting to experience that. And like I've said before, one of the things about this show that they've done very well this season is they've given us new types of trials every single time. It's not just been, oh, yeah, well, you know, we'll just bring up the same old trial, but a different case this time. It's going to be a new case entirely, but it's the same type of trial. No, they've done very well in showing us different trials every time. It's worked very well. The other storyline to talk about in this one, though, outside of the case, didn't really didn't really grasp my attention, mainly because yeah, it's kind of dumb. We see Cable, she's with her boyfriend, and he's sending her all these gifts, and they're just like, oh, he's sending you all these gifts? That's 2 within a week. It's just like, so? And here's the thing, like, I understand they're going for, oh, he sent you a bunch of gifts, so he must be trying to make up for something. But I don't think that's always the case. And they're treating it like any time a guy is getting a girl tons of gifts, it must be because he's done something wrong. Or it's a new relationship and he just enjoys getting her stuff and he has the money to. It can't just be a loving relationship. There has to be something going on. And ultimately, what it leads to, she tracks his location. She realizes he's back into gaming again because he has that gaming addiction. And that's it. She doesn't get frustrated with him about it. She just goes in. Have you ever been beaten by a girl before? Because you're about to, and grabs his controller. And I'm just like, so all in all, what did this accomplish? we oh, we wasted time on this story. It didn't lead to anything. It's not like she's upset about it. It's not like she's gonna break up with him over it. It's just he's gaming again. He was getting her gifts to kind of cover up for that fact, and yeah, that's about all you need to know. I'm just like, what? Why? Why? Anyway, so yeah, that story was dumb. The case itself, as far as what happened, why the girl got killed, that was fairly interesting. I do think that they didn't really touch on the motive for the brother very well. They did mention, oh, she actually loved him, so it was one of those cliche stories where, oh, the grifter ends up falling in love with the person they're trying to grift, and so they try to turn their back on their helper, and now their helper kills them. But the problem with that is most of the time they're just partners. It's like a man and a woman, and they're partners in crime, and they're working together to grift. And then all of a sudden, whoever's doing the grifting is like, oh no, I actually love this person now. And so the other person, who's just a friend or a partner or something like that, not really close, is just like, oh hell no, and kills them. This is a brother and sister, and I don't know. I find the fact that the brother is just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to kill her. That just seems too easy for me. Oh, she doesn't want to grift him anymore. I'm going to kill my own sister because of that. Okay, that's a little harsh. But I don't know, just that story, it was interesting up until I found out that they were brother and sister. I was hoping it was going to be something maybe a bit more, I don't know, a bit more in depth than just, oh, she was turning his back on him in the whole grifting scheme, and so that's why he killed her. I was hoping it was going to be something maybe a bit more reasonable as far as a brother killing a sister. Something completely. She was about to turn him over to the cops or something. She was about to turn him in, but to kill her because she didn't want to grift the guy anymore didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I don't know. Maybe they did explain it and I just missed it, but that didn't make a whole lot of sense. But apart from that, that's about it for this episode. I mean, the rest of it was fairly normal bull stuff. Just the trials stuff, them setting up these little rallies. Like I said, the guy ends up setting up this rally to sort of say justice for Jules, and then all of a sudden the prosecutor brings in her own little rally that's like justice for Lauren. So I don't know, that part of it didn't really catch my attention. It seemed kind of dumb. Like I said, the Jules was kind of doing that stuff, the whole rally thing, and it didn't really fit in with Bull's perspective. But then all of a sudden it's actually working. I'm just like, what's the point of all this? But all in all, it was fairly interesting at times. Just there are some problems that it has that I think it needs to kind of sort out. Either first of all, you got to get your moral down. You got to figure out what's the moral of this episode. Well, it's about showing this guy that his style doesn't work, or showing him that Bull's style does work, or something like that. They didn't really nail that down. It got confused at one point. And then on top of that, just the outside stuff. The stuff with the team has been interesting at times. But in this one, you've got Cable finding out her boyfriend is now playing video games again, and she's not even mad about it. So it just feels like a waste of a story there, where you could have been, I don't know, telling us more stuff about what's going on with Benny in that case that has been overturned. But that's about it for this episode. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future bull reviews, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.